Good morning, youth. I hope you guys are doing well. This is your midweek encouragement video. I'm going to jump right in. We're going to finish out Proverbs chapter 7 this week. So a little bit longer of a reading, but earlier in the book of Proverbs, before I get into it, we met a character called Lady Wisdom. And this character, we're told in chapter 1, she stands for the right path, the way of God. She is this caricature of God's wisdom in the book of Proverbs. And we're told that she can be found calling out to the simple one and the youth. In other words, like God is trying to reach out with his wisdom in order to impact our lives, and challenges them to walk in the right path, and encourages them to pursue wisdom, which is the beginning of which is the fear of the Lord. And so this week we are going to be formally introduced to a new character in the book of Proverbs. Even though it's wisdom literature, there's some characters in here. And in this character, we are going to find a warning, and that is Lady Folly. And unlike a lot of Proverbs, where we have these like little bits and nuggets of wisdom that are put out, this week kind of has a little bit of a story to it. And so we're going to be in Proverbs chapter 7, starting in verse 6. It says, "For at the window of my house I have looked out through my lattice, and I have seen among the simple, I have perceived among the youths a young man lacking sense, passing along the street near her corner, taking the road to her house in the twilight, in the evening, at the time of night and darkness. And behold, the woman meets him, dressed as a prostitute, wily of heart. She is loud and wayward, her feet do not stay at home. Now in the street, now in the market, and in every corner she lies in wait. She seizes him and kisses him, and with bold face she says to him, I had to offer sacrifices, and today I have paid my vows. So now I have come out to meet you, to seek you eagerly, and I have found you. I have spread my couch with coverings, colored linens from Egyptian linen. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let us make our fill with love this till morning. Let us take delight with ourselves with love. For my husband is not at home, and he's gone on a long journey. Took a bag of money with him. At full noon he will come home. With much seductive speech she persuades him. With her smooth talk she compels him. All at once he follows her as an ox goes to the slaughter, or as a stag is caught fast, till an arrow pierces its liver. As a bird rushes into a snare, he does not know what it will cost his life. And now, O sons, listen to me, and be attentive to the words of my mouth. Let not your heart turn aside to her ways, do not stay in her paths. For many a victim has she laid low, all her slain are a mighty throng. Her house is the way to Sheol, going down to the chambers of death." So there's a lot going on in there, and I want to just notice a few things first about Lady Folly. Unlike Lady Wisdom, who is found in the middle of the streets, unhidden, beckoning as many who want to come and gain this knowledge, notice that Lady Folly is like on the corners, and there's this peeking language, and it's almost sneaking, and a lot of times, so Lady Folly is going to be a stand-in for sin. And here we're keyed in on something about sin is oftentimes sin and temptation finds us when we are at the wrong place at the wrong time. Notice that he is like peeking through the lattice. He's not where he's supposed to be, and he's at the wrong time. He's walking around in the middle of the night. Like, you know, when we were growing up, they used to tell us like nothing good happens after 11, and it's kind of true. Like, be in the right place at the right time. It will help you avoid temptation and sin. And the things that she is about, that Lady Folly are about, are contrast to Lady Wisdom. Lady Folly is wayward. She's just looking for this next thing to happen. And that's how sin works. Like, if you are met with temptation and sin and you engage in that, it doesn't fulfill you. It only causes you to want to pursue it further in a different way. Sin is at every corner, and it looks appealing. That's kind of what the book of Proverbs is saying here. And Folly's methods, sin's methods, is to make you feel good about the things that you are doing, make you feel as if it's going to be okay, or that you will not get caught, and that things will not go the same way for you as it has for countless others. Notice it says that for many a victim she is laid low. This is why the teacher brings this up at the end of this story, as if to say, listen, you're not the first person to have interacted with sin. And if you don't take sin seriously, it will negatively impact your life. They call the person who pursues sin and has like kind of a lax view of sin. It says they're like an ox who goes to slaughter, or a stag that's caught fast. Like, it leads to death. It gets you stuck. And then the teacher, after giving this parable, he tells the youths to be mindful. Again, he says, listen to me and be attentive to the words of my mouth. It's calling us back to the words of wisdom that have already been given and will be given in the book as a means to help avoid that sin. And so sin is serious. And though at times it seems good and it seems like it might feel okay, it leads to destruction. Sin is a problem which separates us from our God. And thankfully we have the hope of a Savior in Jesus, to which we can conquer that sin, and that Jesus has conquered it for us. God has provided the way of wisdom that leads to life, how we ought to live, and in doing so, we will find a much greater enjoyment in the life that God has given us. So I hope you guys are encouraged in that. Take sin seriously, y'all. It's bad news. And so I hope you guys have a good rest of your week, and I will see you on Sunday. I love you guys. Take care.